Hey, good morning, guys. I have not been in here for the last few days, and that's because we just had a lot. I mean, a lot hit our family over the last week and a half. It has been one of those times when I have been so thankful for my life coach training and my training in mindset and mindfulness. I've been so thankful for that because it has been rather stressful at times, and I have had to take charge of where I wanted to think, how I want to feel, and that's really important to all of us. Feeling through our real feels, especially when, like me, I lost a dear friend last week. Stuffing that down inside is not a great idea. Feeling the emotions and dealing with the emotions and moving through those emotions. And then for me, it's adding some great essential oils on top of that to just help you get through the shock of when you lose somebody like we did very suddenly. The holidays are hard anyway, let's face it. And, I know I've got a lot of friends out there, and a lot of you that follow me here have little kids. Some of you are foster parents, like I used to be. Some of you are adoptive parents, like I am. Some of you are just natural mums, like I am. And your children can be in all different stages, but your children can actually give you headaches at any time. And I'm here to say that I have raised 12 plus kids. We have 12 that are permanently ours, would you like to say, four from my womb and 8 from my heart. And the struggles that come along don't end. You have this fantasy in your head when you've got these little kids that they're going to go off to college at 18 and everything's going to be said and done. And the truth is, last week, my second eldest daughter, who's grown ass woman and a wonderful, wonderful, capable woman, a strong one, lost someone so dear to her. And when that happens, guess what? You turn to your mum if you can. So your kids, even though they've grown and they're out of the nest and they're leading their own lives, when things happen, it's really important to know that they have a solid foundation they can fall back on. There are other times where, they just don't want to know you, and that's cool. They work it out on their own. But all of these times that we go through, with holidays especially, can be stressful. How many prezzies are you going to buy? Who are you going to buy the prezzies for? And if you've got a really large family like me, and we've just been through a pandemic, then, you know, as I say to people, it isn't always about how much money you got in your hands. You might have a great lot of assets. And at the moment, if you're in business for yourself, you could be waiting on payments and payments are crossing and you have to juggle your finances. And does it all work out? And how many prezzies are you going to buy? And are you going to let that be stressful, or are you going to use your mindfulness practice about that? And when I say mindfulness practice, I mean practice being in the present and looking at your thoughts and not letting things just overwhelm you in this time. Also, I can remember when my kids were really little, and I'm going back to the days when we had 8 under 7. So that was a lot. We had 3 sets of twins, 8 under 7, and I can tell you that the youngest 4 of those were in constant physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. So my days were very, very busy. And trying to get out and buy Christmas presents, that wasn't the easiest thing. And I know for some of you, because some of you that watch me have large families, and it isn't the easiest thing. And you know what? It shouldn't be a time where we allow the stress of finances or how much we're going to cook or what we're going to do actually weigh us down. This should be a time of joy. So I am going to say to you today, write down on your list, get a piece of paper and draw a line right down the center. And on one side, put all the things that you think you should do for this season. And the other side, put down what you want to do. And you know what? See if you really need some of those other things. One of the decisions that we made in our very large family is that we do Thanksgiving very traditionally with too much food, let me tell you, too much food. But we are food people. None of us are, what would you say, are big overeaters or anything, but food is sort of our love language in our family. So, and we all love to cook, and well, not all of us, but most of us love to cook. And so we've all got all these different things we want to bring. So it's deciding and paring down as to what we really need and what we just really want to put there. I'll tell you a story. I was watching a series yesterday, which my daughter recommended, the one that turns 23 today. 23 today. And she's got a little baby of her own. But she said, Mum, you need to watch this series on Netflix called The Maid. And I started to watch it. And quite frankly, it was a little too close to home because, if you've been a foster parent, and an adoptive parent, if you've adopted from foster care or you've had foster care kids, then you know the level of abuse that can happen in those situations and why those kids are in care. And at first I just went, and my husband looked at me and he said, this is all too close to home. I just can't watch this. But in the end, I actually went back and I thought, this is good for me to watch because I need to be reminded. I've got young women and young men still growing up and not in marriage, or some of them aren't even in relationships. And you need to be reminded of what is not a good relationship over what is. But one of the characters in there was the maid turned up to clean her house, and it was Thanksgiving, and she had 7 pies, and her husband said, who's going to eat 7 pies? And she said, nobody, but it's going to give me great joy to see that I cooked 7 pies and put them on the table. So that's our family. Anyway, at Christmas time, we made a decision, for better or for worse, and we're gradually breaking that decision, but we made a decision, for better or for worse, that we were just going to do appetizers for Christmas. And then yesterday I don't know what made me think of it, and I went, why don't we do an Aussie Christmas sort of? And I decided that I'm going to make Aussie sausage rolls and Aussie pies. And then we all got excited about that. And then my daughter, one of my daughters, my second oldest daughter, said, hey, Mum, we're supposed to be making this easy. And I said, yeah, well, I'll just make them all ahead of time. So what I'm saying is decide what you want to do. Does the thought of making those sausage rolls, Australian sausage rolls and Australian meat pies, and if you live in Atlanta, you can go over to the bakery, Australian bakery on the square, and you can get yourself an Aussie pie and an Aussie sausage roll. And we're fortunate that most of our family can do that. But I'm gluten-free. Good for me. I have a really good gluten-free pastry recipe. So, and I thought, am I thinking about doing this, and does it feel like it's going to weigh me down? And I went, no, this is going to be so much fun to actually make these and then present these. And of course, the same daughter that said to me, is this going to be too much work, Mum, is making Australian gluten-free lamingtons. And a lot of you that know me have been to my house and had a lamington. Lamingtons are to die for. They're sort of like a special recipe of sponge cake, but then they're rolled in chocolate, liquid chocolate, so it soaks in. And then they're rolled in very, very fine desiccated coconut, and they are to die for. So I thought, okay, let's go a step further and make this an Aussie Christmas. In all of this story, what I'm saying to you is, and you can see the light in my eye when I'm thinking about having lamingtons and sausage rolls and some pies for Christmas that are Australian, that this is going to be a joy for me. Make what you want to do for your Christmas season, including your shopping, a joy for you. Make a time where this is not going to be a burden. You're not going to be tired. Make a time when you can actually go and have the joy of choosing out a gift and giving it. And make sure that that gift is in your budget so that you are not feeling the pain of, oh my goodness, those credit cards after Christmas. That's something else. That's what I'm going to leave you with today is in the new year, I am going to do a course on money. I am a certified money coach through the Quantum Success Academy, Christy Whitman, and this course will give you a whole new perspective about money. Money can ebb and flow. Money can flow to me and through me. Money is something that is an energy. It is not a dirty word. It is not something to be afraid of. And when you are afraid of money, that can make this season not so great. But you will be hearing from me about that course that I am going to do very straight off the bat in the new year. And the reason for that is we need to get our money right from the beginning of the year. We need to know where we're going with our money, how much money we want to attract into our lives, and how good it's going to feel not to have the worry of money. So other than that, you can go to my website, which is katepenmorthompson.info, not .com. It is my name, .info, and you can look up all the goodies that I have on there. There's some great freebies there for you that you can go and pick up and have today as a gift from me. So I will see you a little later. Might not be tomorrow because Lives Me, I like to do a slightly longer one, maybe not so often. And I love to do it when I have something I really want to talk to you about. So I will see you in the near future, in the next few days. If I don't see you before the weekend, have an awesome weekend and enjoy this season. Okay, bye for now. And as I said, I'll see you soon.